Hey everybody, Sean Stevens here with Sky Films and Peak Drone School. Been hearing some questions on Facebook this week from prospective new UAV pilots about all of the different content that's available to help them prep to pass that test. And some of the questions are great questions. Hey Sean, I'm gonna go watch a YouTube video and download this free app that offers me flashcards for the Part 107 test. Or I'm going to go sit at this 5-hour seminar that someone's putting on to help me understand the things that I need to know for the Part 107 exam. And while those are great tools, and I'm really glad that they're available to the UAV community, my experience, not coming from an aviation background, is that the material that the UAV test is drawn from is exactly the same material that a private pilot's testing and knowledge base has to come from, which is a manual that's 1,100 pages. So if you can imagine yourself learning how to fly an aircraft, a manned aircraft, in 6 hours, or by using an iOS app, then by all means, go right ahead and do that. But there's a lot there. And in just a short 60-question test, the FAA is really going to dive right in and make sure that you have a really, really strong knowledge of a whole bunch of different aspects of what it is to operate safely within the national airspace. Here's one example. So here's a sectional map. We all in the aviation community know these maps, and if you're not familiar with them, just take a look at all of the gobbledygook that's printed here on this sectional map. We've got yellow, we've got some purple circles, we got lines crisscrossing everywhere. A UAV pilot needs to be able to pick up that map and instantaneously understand all of those different layers that are going on there. Whether it's the difference between Bravo and Charlie and Delta airspace, whether it's longitude and latitude, whether it's areas that are heavily populated versus areas that are remotely populated. There's a lot to understand there. And that's just one aspect of some of the material that goes into the FAA exam. There's also TAFs and METARs, which are a completely different language. They're barely written in English, and pilots need to be able to understand how to use those tools to be able to understand what's going to happen with the weather those days. So it's a big, broad knowledge base. You've got aeronautical decision making, you've got airport operations, you've got crew resource management, you've got a whole laundry list of things that you need to understand. And at Peak Drone School, we think that the best way to learn those things is side by side and shoulder to shoulder with a group of other people who we are really going to foster an atmosphere of learning those things together, because those are the folks that you're going to be able to call 6 months down the road and say, hey Joe, my camera broke, can I borrow a camera, or can you come help me shoot this, or I just dropped my SD card in the river, can I spare one from you? Those are the kinds of things that I've found that this community of drone folks has been really, really supportive of me. And when I was developing this course, I really wanted to turn that around for all of my students as well. So we want to be there, not just for the 6 weeks that we're in class together, but for after, when you're looking for your first job. We want to go fly together. We want to do training stuff together. We want to help you build the kind of career that you want, whether it's full-time, part-time, gig job, whatever it is. We want to support the pilots that we're working with, because they've been so supportive of us. So one of the ways that we do that is through an exclusive partnership with the premier online learning community at DroneU. The DroneU guys are wonderful and have built hundreds and hundreds of training videos that are accessible to our students through their website. They have podcasts that they do through 100 different podcast platforms. They do YouTube daily vlogs. They have a ton of live training events in a whole bunch of different categories, in a whole bunch of different locations throughout the country. And maybe one of the best things about the DroneU is their private Facebook group, where members just ask each other questions, share stories, tips and tricks, critique each other's work. all of those things are supportive of lifelong learning and constantly improving your product, your safety, and all of the things that are important in this industry. So those are the kind of things that we want to support here at Peak Drone School. So come join us. We've got a 6-week class starting up on June 7th at Dakota County Technical College in Shakopee, Minnesota, and then throughout the rest of the summer and fall at other locations throughout the Midwest. So thanks for tuning in. Happy flying, enjoy it, and come see us soon. Thanks, guys.